Welcome to the table, pull up a seat. Two voices in the spotlight where the heart and the headlines meet. The world's got noise, but we move with grace, led by the spirit, never flesh, never ego in the place. We talk about the nations, the storms and the shine, the things on your screen and the things on your mind. But we check our hearts first, cause the truth don't bend. Let the spirit take the mic, let the wisdom descend. We're just two little Muppets with a God-given view, seeing through the chaos cause the light cuts through. When the world gets loud and the tensions rise, we say spirit-led, not flesh advice. Hold up, what's the top? Does it line up right? If the flesh tries talking, the spirit fight. Stay grounded in truth, keep faith in the lead, cause walking in the spirit is everything we need. So welcome to the table, conversation in flight, where the spirit guides the words and the Muppets shine bright. Yeah, a world full of noise, but we choose inside, led by the spirit every talk, every night.
What up, what up, what up?
Oh my gosh. Hello. What happened?
Does everybody know welcome to No Strings Attached? We gonna get it right.
Can't hear you.
My microphone be messed up on
Okay,
the other
that's
side.
much better. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I said No Strings Attached. Let's see what happened on the map.
That's right.
Let's see what happened on the map.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man.
Yes, welcome. Latanya, welcome. Rosalind, thank you. Rosalind's always here first.
Oh, they be up here, huh? Y'all should come up on the panel. Send the link.
I don't know if they want to come on.
Oh, okay. All right.
But yeah, you could always invite people to come on.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
thank you.
How's the day been?
Hot and long and tiring, but praise God. Like I mentioned, we lost power for about an hour or so, but thank God it's back on.
That's
That was
good.
your day. Yeah.
Oh, all right. I got that. I thought I was gonna get the Poppins chair tomorrow, but I got it today.
Oh, cool. How's that working out?
I didn't assemble it. It's still in the box.
Okay. Well, tomorrow's a holiday, so stay holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some things I want to do today, though. I want to do like stuff like laundry. I want to clean my bath. Like,
Well, you can still do laundry. At least you got laundry, the machine in your apartment, right? So
yeah.
that's the good part about having it in your apartment and not having to go outside.
Yeah, I'll deal with that. I mean, if I have to, but I remember I did that back in the day.
Yeah, me
that?
too.
That's crazy. I did do that back.
Yeah. Why
did I have a laundry machine? Oh, you know what? I could have had one, but you had to rent one.
Oh, really?
So yeah, I remember that. There's an apartment in North Carolina. I had to rent one, so they had the hookup. You just had to get your own.
Oh, okay.
Which is kind of interesting. I think if I went back to that same place, it's not like that anymore. They probably got it included.
Yeah, probably. Welcome everyone tonight. This tonight. Oh, blah. Let me try to say this again. Yes, Rosalind, you should come up online as a special guest. Yeah. Well, Slave of Christ was saying that for both of you. And Latanya saying that for you, Rosalind. Yes, if anybody wants to, I shouldn't say anybody, but if one of you would like to come on, or someone else, depending. Unless Slave of Christ wants them to come on. Yes, I'll put the link in the chat, only if anybody wants to come on. So but yeah, tonight is going to be actually a topic that Latanya did yesterday. on her channel, and I was happy to join her and our friend Millie too. But this was just funny because this was something that I I planned since last week. Actually, I think I planned it like 2 weeks prior, but I just, put the thumbnail up yesterday. So it's along the lines of, I'm going to put here it is. Marriage, divorce, and remarriage biblically. Okay, well, it's the biblical qualifications of once you get married, and then say you get a divorce, and when are you actually biblically able to remarry? So there's this lady, I subscribed to her, and I did show her video a couple of weeks ago. I think it was on my channel, yeah. And she was sharing her testimony on that video. One testimony out of many of what the Lord did in her life. But then I came across a video where she's talking about how God blesses women basically after they leave their spouse, get a divorce from their spouse. So I sat down and I listened to it, but I did not agree whatsoever with what she was saying. And so this is not to come against like her character, but just it's like, is what she's teaching these individuals on her channel, is what she's saying biblically correct? Well, okay, I will bring up the Rosalind said no, but thank you. That's okay. So I'll bring up the video and we can get started. And so, Slave of Christ, I gonna leave the floor open to you a whole lot. So the title of her channel is called "The Reason God Blesses Women After Divorce." Okay. Okay. Here we go.
The blessing that comes when we leave the union that God never ordained.
I'm always pausing, someone's music so they don't get a copyright strike. Okay.
Yourself this question: why, if we are told that we must be married until we die, I'm speaking of women of God, okay, believers, we're told that we're supposed to be married to this one person until the end of our days, despite whatever abuse we go through, despite whatever trauma they take us through, despite our spiritual oppression, whatever the case is, right? Even if it impacts and destroys our relationship with God, we are to remain in this union, right? Why is it that we never talk about the blessing that comes when we leave the union that God never ordained? When God calls you into union with someone, when He blesses your union, it is good. It is good and it lasts. When God puts something together, it does not fail. Okay? His word cannot return void. Now, yes, we have a part to play. We have things to do. But remember, God knows the future. He sees down the corner and around the bend. So when He brings two people together, believe it is going to work out. In the church, and
Okay, one thing I just want to say, that when she said, when God brings people together, it will always work out, because God sees the future Okay, even when the Lord puts two people together, it's not a guarantee that things are going to go peachy keen, smooth all the time. And sometimes there might even be hiccups in that relationship. Why? Because you're dealing with two imperfect individuals. So even if God is joining you together in the manner that she's saying, and again, I'll always say it again, yes, I believe God will bring people together, but I also believe that we as believers, as scripture tells us, we are to marry someone in the Lord. So yes, you can choose your mate or your spouse. As long as that person, you're equally yoked, you both are followers of Christ and believers, and you both have same, I guess, values. Well, hopefully you have the same values and almost like the same interest as it when it comes to the things of the Lord. But again, even if the Lord brings two people together in the manner that she's saying, it doesn't mean things are going to be quote unquote perfect. Anything you want to? Anything you want to?
About what she said.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's how she's framing what she believes is God bringing together. Oh,
What do you believe that she's saying when she says that?
when she says that, I think she's speaking of something where her understanding. I mean, her viewpoint. What I'm thinking, how she's understanding it.
Mm-hmm.
When she said God brings together, means that both people are believers and they coming together and they went to God specifically about should they get married or not, and that's what I believe she's speaking of.
Mm-hmm.
But I think she's misunderstanding the Bible when it comes to that. Because I remember
You're muted. You're muted.
oh no, I pulled my headset out.
Oh, okay.
No, I think like when you come, you have to kind of understand what the context is. My understanding of the context is when it says bringing together, like the two
Mm-hmm.
become one flesh.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember I took some notes on this back in the day. But when the Pharisees were coming to Christ and was questioning him about is it lawful to divorce one's wife for any cause?
Yeah.
Then he quotes, he said, why did Moses command one to give a certificate of divorce and send her away? Well, that's what the Pharisees said to him.
Mm-hmm.
He said, because the hardness of your heart, Moses allowed you to divorce your wife, but from the beginning, it was not so.
Right.
Because they said he answered to them in the beginning, have you not read that he who created them from the beginning made them male and female and said, therefore, a man shall leave his father and his mother and hold fast to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh.
Mm-hmm.
So God looks at marriage not like, I guess, how we're looking at it or how she's explaining it, because that was said in Genesis 2:24. So that was applicable to all mankind and womankind. It's not really applicable to a specific group of people
Right. Not
who
Christians.
follow, Christians, or who follow say when the pagans came, when the pagans nations got developed, established. So it was already from the beginning. God viewed it as a man and a woman coming together as a marriage or covenant union.
Right.
It has nothing to do with it has nothing to do with whether you went to God on your marriage or not. So I think if the way a lot of people think about that, that's how they
Mm-hmm.
kind of say these things like, well, God didn't ordain the marriage, because they're looking at it from a self-serving point of view, that I didn't come to God about my marriage. But the Bible doesn't say anything about you coming to God about your marriage. It's about he established marriages between a man and a woman coming together in one flesh.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So that's the first thing, I guess, about the marriage. So it's not that, and she was saying, well, I guess you get married and go through all this for the rest of your life. It doesn't. Well, I guess you get to that.
Yeah.
God
Yeah.
doesn't say you can't get a divorce. The question is, what is the grounds for remarriage?
Right. Right.
But yeah. So that's my thoughts so far.
Okay. Well, I mean, like I said, I do understand, and I do agree both ways. Like I said, I believe as believers, and yes, God created marriage for a man and a woman because Adam and Eve, they weren't Christians. When God created them, they were perfect human beings. They were not Christians. But God created marriage for a man and a woman. But I think as believers, because we want to follow God's word or follow it biblically, that's why I believe many of us tend to say, well, I'm going to pray and ask the Lord if this person is my husband. You know, I might like this person, and I want to be certain that this is a person that God has for me. So that's where she's coming from. And again, I agree with that too. But I also agree that if you are a believer and you meet someone and they're a believer and um, you seem to fall in love, there's nothing wrong with that either. But again, I can go from both points of views. But anyway, let me get back to the video. Let me stop yapping. But okay. And I wrote. It's funny because I wrote that scripture down also, but I wrote a few other scriptures down. But I'm hoping to hear more your point. Okay, let's see. What if he said he is saved and then he tried to delete you? Is she saying stay? No, that's the. I know that's like a lot of the questions that always tend to come up. Okay, you can answer that.
What's that? When I don't think she's saying that.
No, Rosalind's asking the question. What if he said he is saved, and then he tried to delete you? Is
Well,
she
that don't.
saying stay? No. Are you
Yeah, I
saying?
understand it. I'm just saying I don't. I don't. That's like that ain't making it. No, that's like saying I know what she's saying, but like, what? Why would a Christian? Anyway, so a Christian that I can't even wrap my hair. Okay.
No, that's why she's saying, what if he said he's saved, but then he's trying to delete you? Then you turn around and you find out, well, then he can't be
Oh no, I understand what she said. When she said kill you, I understand what that meant. When she said delete you.
Because
Oh,
there's
is she asking what
certain
she's
words you're
saying?
not supposed to say on YouTube.
Is
That's
she
why.
saying say? Is she saying say? Is that what that's questions to the lady? She just kind of ladies on the video, or like I don't understand.
Oh,
Or
I
you
don't
asking
know.
my view? Like I
Is
think
that,
she's talking about the video, the lady.
oh no, I can definitely tell you that lady is not going to say yes, stay, no.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, I got you. Yeah.
Yeah. If
No,
that's if that's who the question is, I mean, if you're trying to find out, Rosalind, if she's going to say to stay, no, she's not going to say that. But if you're asking us or me, um,
I mean I wouldn't say I separate, but it's something like that's
mhm,
kind of a threat on your life. So I mean
yeah,
you gotta
of
take that
course.
seriously. So I would say, well, getting divorced is not going to stop this person from trying to do what they want to do to you. So
Mhm,
I think it's more than the divorce part. It's more about your safety.
right.
So
Both? Oh, both? Oh, both.
yes, I
Okay.
think it's more about your safety, but I don't think the divorce is kind of secondary to your safety. So then you can kind of figure out the divorce after that. But I mean, if you
Right.
say you're gonna do that, then that's a threat. I mean, should call the authorities, say you got threatened on your life, and then separate yourself from that person,
Mm-hmm.
or restraining order or something like that. If it's serious when it gets to that point like that, yeah. So I mean, that's what I would say. Do
Oh, no, yeah.
divorce?
Mm-hmm.
What's that? What?
I'm sorry. No, no. Go ahead. No, I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying that's what I would say about that.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah. So
No, I know sometimes these type of questions come up when you talk about the topic of marriage, divorce, and remarriage. I think I'm not. I think what we're trying to get at, like Slave of Christ had mentioned earlier, is even if someone's married and then you get a divorce. Number one, was your divorce biblical in order for you to remarry? So
yeah,
say
that's the main thing
yeah.
about remarriage. It's not divorce. It's not. Um, the The remarriage part, that's the key point. I guess that's the focus. It's not the actual. This is divorce, which is
Mhm.
contingent upon the remarriage, but it's about the remarriage part. That's what it is.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Rosalind. I mean, Rosalind. Oh yeah. Okay. Yes, Latanya. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So. Okay. I'm sorry. Hold on 1 second. Okay.
As women of God, we are always taught to stay married no matter what, right? Literally, no matter what. Okay. The reason that I know
Who says
that
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 though?
is not true is because
Huh?
Who who's the get stay married no matter what? Who said that? I don't understand who's. I don't
That's
understand.
what she's. That's what
Yeah,
she
but
said.
I don't understand
I
that.
know.
Where's that coming from? Who says get married stated no matter what? That was it. I don't know. I guess if you coming from that viewpoint, then
Mhm.
well, I won't listen to her. I think it's two things she's conflating. By the way, you need to play the
Okay.
video. I kind of know what she's
Oh,
gonna say.
okay.
when I was married to a man that God never chose for me, I chose for myself. I was
See, did you hear what she just said? God didn't quote unquote choose, but she chose herself. What's wrong with you choosing someone to marry if you're a believer and you know this person is a believer? And not to mention, I believe that we all see red flags, we just overlook them.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I don't. I kind of. I guess she's saying like she didn't went to prayer. She didn't go to prayer about with God about it. And that's why she's saying she chose for us. That's what I'm assuming. So, but I
I think
mean,
part
in
of
any
it.
event, I guess I'm
Mhm.
just. I just want to listen more what she says when it goes to the point
Okay.
about remarriage part. Really, it's not.
Okay.
miserable. I was unhappy. I felt depressed all the time. I felt sad all the time. I felt spiritually drained all the time. I didn't feel like I was in my right life. It felt like I was living someone else's life and it wasn't mine. And that alone was depressing.
I'd like to know what exactly happened that took place for her to feel all that way, in her marriage. What exactly happened that she was depressed and she felt depleted and she didn't feel right? What happened?
But when I was in that thing, nothing good came of it for me. Everything that I was, my personality, my creativity, everything was stifled. Everything became sort of silent. And I became this shell of myself. And I was constantly trying to figure out who I was. Okay. But when I came to the realization that this was going to either take me out or I was going to have to make a decision to live and to go after what I knew God showed me, and God showed me something greater than that. Okay. Once I disconnected myself from that union that I chose, my life flourished. I'm telling you, there is something special that happens that God does when his daughters disconnect from an agreement, from a covenant that they themselves entered into outside of his will. God is not forcing you to be connected to someone just because you said I do if he did not choose them. Understand, when God brings a blessing, he adds no sorrow. So if God brought your spouse into your life, you should have more happy days than sad days at their hands. So you shouldn't be spending your life miserable, your life crying, your life upset, your life not being who you were called to be. When you enter into a relationship that God has chosen for you, it's better. It enhances who you are. It enhances your creativity. It enhances your joy. It enhances the things about you, and vice versa. And vice versa. This goes for men as well. A lot of times we enter into these unions because we're desiring some sort of physical gratification, some sort of status gratification or recognition. When the matter is, and God is still working on the person that he has for you, just as he's working on you. Whenever you leave a situation that God has not called you to, hands down, without a doubt, your life will begin to go up.
Matthew 5:31 says, "It was also said, whoever divorces his wife, let him give her a certificate of divorce. But I say to you that everyone who divorces his wife, or in this case, divorces her husband, except on the ground of sexual immorality, makes her commit adultery. And whoever marries a divorced woman commits adultery." She never said that the reason why she divorced her husband was because of sexual immorality. She
Yeah.
divorced her husband.
Oh no, man.
No, go ahead.
Oh no, I was saying, yeah, I don't know what she didn't really explain what, I guess led to the divorce. Did she say in the video or anything like
She
that?
was
I didn't
just
know.
saying how she didn't feel like herself. She was depressed. She was
Mm.
stifled. She wasn't happy. It was like nothing was going right. But I'm like, what happened in her
Yeah,
marriage?
yeah, I think I
I
forgot
don't
like what was the relationship like with her husband? She married Satan himself or something? That's something kind of understand.
the way she's saying it doesn't
Like
sound good.
what? What was going on? I mean, what was she getting physically abused, or was she trying to get him to go to attend church with her, read the Bible? He didn't want to, so that was causing it. Was he verbally abusive? Was he like I mean, she didn't give me really any more context about
No, she doesn't.
exactly what's going on, so I can't really speculate. I don't know what the reason.
Yeah.
Okay, so she felt she had to get divorced because she was getting suppressed and depressed about her marriage to Satan himself.
Right, because she didn't pray and ask the Lord if this man was for her, basically.
Okay, she made the decision probably based on her own thoughts, and there's probably some people that maybe mentioned something to her, but she decided to
Hmm.
not heed that counsel, wise counsel from people. Probably, I'm
Yeah.
just giving assumptions. I don't know. So she decided I'm gonna do what I want to do. I'm gonna
Hmm.
get married, or she may have seen, like you said, red flags and ignore them.
Hmm.
So it could be a number of reasons why she even led to. Because the thing about, like, you know, any woman I met like been divorced, right?
Hmm.
Or say, or yeah. So I was kind of engaged, and they call well the divorce. You have to, in a situation like that, like you're with a guy and you know how he is, and he proposes to you. You have to say yes.
Yeah.
You just don't wake up and you're married.
Right.
And then when he propose, for him to propose to you, you have to say yes, and that means you accept his proposal, take the ring, and then even after that, after you're engaged, you still have to wait till the marriage, unless you just got married real quick or something like that.
Hmm.
So there's
Right.
ample time for you to kind of think about things before you even say yes. But after you say yes, you still can think like, okay, is this the right decision?
Yeah.
But then you shouldn't say yes in the first place. But I don't know. I mean, I can't. I don't know what the context of what. I mean, I don't know. That's all. I'm just kind of making assumptions. But I think I don't know the reason. So she's not providing any more clarity on why she,
No,
why her,
she
why
did.
her, why her marriage was like that. Why she experienced her marriage like that. So
No, she didn't. Yeah, she didn't say. She just, like I said, she just kept saying how she just, wasn't herself and depressed. And like you said, she basically she's married to Satan. The way she's saying it. You said, sorry, there is no reconciliation. I would like to live. That's understandable. That's understandable, Rosalind. But what our, what our aim or focus, or not even focus, what it is that we're trying to convey is, even if someone is in a marriage that's abusive, no, we're not saying that you stay in that marriage. What we're trying to show from the scriptures is that even if you're married to someone and that person is being abusive, yes, you get away from that person. And yes, there have been times some people have separated and God worked on both parties and brought them back, and they've been married for however many years, and God is using them tremendously. But if you feel like, okay, you can't stay, that's understandable. The topic is it's like, if you decide that you want to divorce that person, okay, you have the right to do that. But if you desire to remarry, because what the word of God says, because your divorce was not biblical, you are to remain single. You can't, in the Lord's eyes, you should not remarry unless your husband, even though you're divorced, unless your husband either passes away or he commits adultery. Then you're free to remarry. That's what the whole topic is, because this lady saying she was married to someone and she decided to divorce him because he wasn't who God had for her. But scripture clearly tells us about, if you divorce someone, if a man divorces his wife, except for sexual immorality, and she marries another, she commits adultery. So that's what we're looking. That's the angle we're looking at. You gonna say something?
No, I was the rest of the video. What was he saying? Is that it or put the order word?
No, could I have finished? I just wanted to finish saying what I was saying. Thank you.
Everything will begin to get better. You will have more opportunities. You will come across more favor. Things will just open up in a way. It's almost as if when you say, okay, I break agreement with this thing that God never ordained for me, God then begins to flood you with the blessing so that you can see, yes, you are in my will. Yes, I'm glad you disconnected from this thing. Listen, when I got divorced,
but see, if you say that God is telling you, yes, now you're disconnected from this thing, God is never going to go against what his word says. Despite the fact that you married somebody that you feel like you should not have married, because your divorce is unbiblical, and then you think God is sending someone else in your life or all these blessings, and because God says, yes, now that you've separated yourself from that, God will never tell you that, because then he's going to be going against what his word says.
y'all, I immediately knew that I was breaking covenant with something that God did not ordain for me. God began to bless me unbelievably immediately after. I'm talking about things was happening for me left and right. It seemed like when I was in that thing, nothing worked out. Nothing worked out. Money was tight. Bills wasn't getting paid. Stuff wasn't getting done. Everything. I was depressed. Nothing was going well. I became so sunken. Okay. I became so just not even a shell of myself, not even someone that I recognize. And when I severed that union, the fact that God came in and immediately started favoring and blessing my life and opening doors for me that did not happen, where it felt like I was stuck, all of a sudden it felt like I was propelled just because I disconnected. Listen, you better get this revelation, because you're not going to be told this in church. You're not going to be told if you are being abused to leave. You're not going to be told that this may not be God for you. You're going to be told to stay because God hates divorce. But you're not going to be told what the word of God says when it says who God joined together, let no man put asunder. Who God. So did God join you, or did you join yourself? There is a clear difference. Now,
You want to say anything about that?
I think she's misunderstanding the about what God put together. She's misunderstanding it because it's coming from Genesis.
Mm-hmm.
I guess what my understanding right now is that Genesis, when God speaks of man and woman coming together, it has nothing to do with a specific belief system.
Mm-hmm.
I think after the conditions after that, your divorce remarriage is specific with specific belief on who Christ is. But I think in the beginning, the foundation had to do with man and woman coming together in marriage.
Right.
That's what he defined it. Because if you got to do it like that, then you can't really say that homosexual marriage is not marriage,
Mm-hmm.
because you'd be contradicting that.
Right.
You can't use like the Bible says this is not marriage and then go against that. I mean, you can't say that God is saying it's marriage, and then when homosexuals get married, who said it's marriage, you said it's not marriage, but then on the other hand say, well, when I got married, God didn't bring it together. You
Mm-hmm.
know, that doesn't. Yeah. Well, I'll continue listening because I wanted to read something that was interesting, and I was reading
Okay.
the verses, but
Okay.
based
This
on what
lady
you were
is
saying.
not talking scripture, huh? Well, Tanya said this lady is not talking scripturally from what Jesus said about it. Yep, exactly. Exactly. And then even when she said, you all got to get this revelation.
I'm about to
No.
read something that's going to kind of be like a
You want to read
mic
it
drop.
now?
No, I'll wait till she get done. It's
Okay.
gonna be like a mic drop.
You want me? You want me to just play the remainder of it and don't stop it?
Yeah, how long is she? Well, I don't know. I guess that.
Well, she's 7 minutes in, and it's in total 19 minutes.
Is she going over the same thing about why she did she? I guess is she saying the same thing? I mean, is she gonna say anything different than what she been saying about like I got divorced because God didn't bring you get married if God didn't bring it together, then it's okay to get a divorce because God didn't bring it together.
Well, she's also gonna bring in one scripture verse from Deuteronomy when when God told Solomon not to marry these women, do not take
From
these
other
women as
nations.
wife. Yes, she's gonna so I'll just let it play.
What?
And at any time you want me to stop it, just
Oh,
say.
okay. But it had to do with him anyway.
I know, but okay, hold on.
Whole different situation. Okay,
Many
I know.
of us, men and women alike, have joined ourselves together with people that God never told us to join ourselves to. And it didn't always result in marriage, but it resulted in a soul tie. It resulted in a spiritual or a physical connection that became difficult to break throughout time. That became difficult to break, and your body is yearning for this person that is going to devastate your call and your purpose in life. Listen, God blesses women and men who disconnect from unions that he never ordained. Because, see, when you get in that union that God never ordained, you are out of his will. You're out of his will. But the moment that you step out of that union and you break that covenant that God never ordained, you align yourself back up into the will of God. And then God begins to work in your life immediately to propel you to where you were supposed to be. So in other words, God is redeeming the time. So if you spent 2 years, 5 years, 7 years, 10 years in a relationship that you weren't supposed to be in, you break free of that thing, and God is going to begin to redeem the time. Now, depending on how long you stay in that thing, will determine your recovery time or process. In other words, how long it's going to take you to sort of realize who you are again, because that is a process as well. It doesn't happen overnight, but there is a special blessing that comes from those who disconnect from unions that God never intended. Listen, I know people that have been in marriages for 20 plus years, 30 plus years, that they were never supposed to be in, but they have decided in their mind that this is how it's supposed to be. I'm supposed to be miserable and accept whatever it is because I said I do. And because they've been taught this lie that God said, if you marry the devil, you got to stay married to the devil. That's a lie. That is a lie. And one of the things that was very disheartening to me when I was in my situation that was terrible was no one would ever say, leave. It's dangerous. Leave. It's not good. They would only say, I'm praying for you. I pray that God will work things out in your marriage. They never, ever said anything about this is not God. This is not God that you're dealing with this. This is not God that you're going through this. This is not God that someone is treating his daughter this way. Don't you understand that when his word says, when God says that our worth is far more precious than the most rarest jewels, you don't think he means that? So do you think that God is going to take his rare treasure of a daughter and place her in the hands of a tyrant?
But God didn't do that. You did that.
Place her in the hands of someone who is going to mishandle her. Do you think that that is God's will for you? Do you think that God's will for you is that you would become a shell of yourself, forgetting who you are, forgetting what he said about you, and living your life out in a desolate existence? Do you think that's what God has for you? No. God never designed a woman or a man to be in a relationship with someone that is going to mishandle them, that is going to deplete them, that is going to oppress them, that is going to harm them, that is going to draw them further away from him. Listen, there are stories in the Bible. What is the one story in the Bible? I'm going to try to put the scripture up on the screen so you can go read it. God told these men specifically not to go over here and take these women for wives. Why? He told Solomon, do not take these women for your wives because they will turn you away from me. God specifically said, don't marry this group of people. He said it in the Bible. He said it. It's in there. Don't marry this group of people. That means God is saying there are people that you can marry and there are people that you cannot. So when we make these decisions to jump into these unions outside of the will of God without seeking him, without waiting on him, you're playing Russian roulette. You're gambling with your life, with your purpose, with your call. God has every good thing in mind for us. And one of the most important things that you can do, the most important thing that you can do outside of saying yes to Jesus, is who you say I do to. That determines your future. I'm telling you, there is a special blessing that comes. It's not a coincidence that when you end that relationship, your business starts to take off. It's not a coincidence that when you come out of that union, you become more happy and you have more peace. It's not a coincidence. Disconnect from the thing that was never for you. It's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence that God steps in and shows out in your life. Listen, you have to understand that as women and even as men, we think that us stepping into these relationships means that we're going to be so fulfilled and so happy. Your fulfillment is in Christ Jesus. Your fulfillment is in God. And then he can bring someone to add to you in your personal life. He can bring someone to walk alongside you so that the two of you can be better together. It's not God's will for you to be alone, but it's not his will for you to be with someone that he did not ordain. How many of you, I can raise my hand, have been in a relationship and been lonely? You might as well be alone and not lonely. Why be in a situation where you're deprived of love and kindness and peace and joy and fun and all the things that God intended for you? Why be connected to someone?
Okay.
Well, I mean, she's kind of repeating the same thing. I think, I know she's talking about Solomon. That was a different situation when she was trying to bring up Solomon.
Yeah.
Yes, it's First Kings chapter 11, verse 1 through 4. But King Solomon loved many strange women. Oh, we should put the verse. Hold on. How you do this? Oh, you can't. Anyway, it says, but King Solomon loved many strange women together with the daughter of Pharaoh, women of the Moabites. Oh, can you put it up on the screen? The
Wait,
verse
hold
or
on. Let me what did you say it was?
First
First
Kings
Kings.
chapter 11, verse 1 through 4.
What version?
1
ESV?
through. Oh, it don't matter. I was reading the King James version, but
Okay. KJV. Okay, hold on one second. So, all right. Why is it not? Oh wait, sorry. Hmm. Oh, okay, there we go. Sorry. Sorry. Wait a minute. Okay. Can you see that?
oh, let me see. Hold on. Let me get this.
I don't think I can make it any bigger. I'm not sure.
What's that? Oh, let me see.
I don't think I can make this any bigger.
Oh, I can
Can
zoom
you
in
see it?
myself. No, I can zoom. I can see it.
Oh,
It
okay.
says, but King Solomon loved many
Okay.
strange women together with the daughters of Pharaoh, women of the Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites, Zidonians, and Hittites of the nations concerning which the Lord said unto the children of Israel, ye shall not go into them, neither shall they come in unto you, for surely they will turn away your heart after the gods Solomon clave unto these in love. I mean, so that's talking about Solomon when he was telling Solomon not to partake with these women because they would turn his heart away from the true God of Israel. And I mean, that's what happened. But it
Right.
still says that he got married, though. It
Mm-hmm.
was a marriage. I don't know where it said God said that wasn't a marriage. Because I think she said in the beginning that, oh, God didn't bring it together, right? So she said not a valid marriage.
Yeah.
But this
No, she just
Solomon,
said God. Yeah, God.
was that?
Mm-hmm.
No, what'd you say? I
No,
can't
go
hear you.
ahead. Sorry.
No, what'd you say? I couldn't.
Oh no, I was just saying. No, she was just saying
Hello?
that God told Solomon not to. Can you hear me?
Yeah. I can hear you now.
Oh no, go ahead. Mm-mm.
Yeah, so he said that's true what Solomon went to but that comes from his decision though. He still got married. And then that's what happened. I guess that follows along with when it talks about to be unequally yoked. So, you know what I'm talking
Mm-hmm.
about? Hello?
Yeah.
Am I delayed or something? Hello?
Yeah. You can't hear.
No, I can hear you. It's like
No,
it's a
Yeah,
delay.
you're delayed. Oh,
Oh, I don't
you
know
can't
what's
hear
going
me.
on.
That's weird. Yeah, I don't either. Like it was fine before.
So yeah, I think
Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing the screen. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. I'll just stop
it's still delay.
sharing the screen. Maybe. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm talking about the delay. I can hear you. I'm just saying how quick I can hear you.
Yeah, you're delayed on. When I say can you hear me, I was only asking to see if there was a delay. Yeah, there's a delay on your end.
That don't make sense. Okay, so yeah, I think I mean, it's that's what it says in the Bible, not to be unequally yoked together with unbelievers. The Second
Mm-hmm.
Corinthians chapter 6, verse 14 through 18. But I guess the thing I was reading was if you keep reading, it's something interesting. 2 Corinthians chapter 7. Oh, can you pull up on the
Yeah.
screen? 2 Corinthians chapter 7, verses 10 through 16. I'll drop down and say the first delay.
No, you said 7, 2 Corinthians 7, what? Can you hear me? Hello? Okay, is there still a delay on my end to you?
I can hear you.
You hear me? Okay, you said, what did you say? 2 Corinthians 7, what?
Oh, 10 through 16.
Oh, okay. Okay, 2 Corinthians, not first?
Oh, maybe it's first. Yeah, 1 Corinthians 7 through 10 through 16.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. It's there.
Oh, so yeah, you can pull it. I'm gonna read it because I got it. That's the King James version you got pulled up.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a terrible delay. I said, and unto the
Yeah.
married
You can't see it.
No, I don't have to see it. It said, and unto
Oh
the
my gosh,
married I command, yet not I, but the Lord. Let not the wife depart from her husband. But if she depart, let her remain unmarried, or be reconciled to her husband, and let not the husband put away his wife. Then it says, but to the rest I speak, I not the Lord. If any brother have a wife. So I guess the first part is talking about believers, right?
Yeah.
10 and 11.
Yeah.
But I guess 12 is speaking about a person who's married to a person who's an unbeliever. So my assumption is that
Yeah.
he's speaking to the Corinthian church that there were people who were already married, and say the husband and the wife became a believer, but their spouse wasn't.
Yeah.
And I'm reading it from 12. I'm coming from that context. That means that if any brother have a wife that believeth not, and she be pleased to dwell with him, let him not put her away. And the woman which hath in the husband that believeth not, and if he be pleased to dwell with her, let her not leave him. So the onus on that is really on the unbeliever, because it said if I'm a believer and my wife is not a believer, it says if she's pleased to dwell with me, I'm not supposed to put her away. It has nothing to do with whether I'm pleased with her.
Right.
And that's what I was reading. I was like, wait a minute. And so that's why I was looking at it. So if a woman has a non-believer husband, if the husband is pleased to be with her, she's not supposed to put him away because she's displeased with who he is. But say you do put him away, that's when you was reading about that, about the grounds for divorce and remarriage when Christ said adultery.
Yeah.
So how I'm looking at it is that So how I'm looking at it is that Paul was saying, because he said I, not the Lord, right? But he was saying if a person who's married, which I mean, he's not going to contradict Christ. So if a person is not, if an unbelieving person, if a believer is married to an unbelieving person, then the believing person is supposed to stay married if the unbelieving person is pleased to stay with you. But if you do divorce this person, then it has to be for adultery for you to get remarried.
Right.
That's my understanding. Now, it's not that you can't
Yeah,
get
but then,
divorced. You can get
mhm,
divorced for any reason. But in regards to me getting remarried, it says that my only grounds for remarriage is if it was adultery or that person
right.
passes away.
Yeah. Hmm. Right. But I think here, right here too, but it also says, but if the unbelieving depart. So if the unbelieving spouse departs, let him depart. A brother or a sister is not under bondage in such cases, but
Yeah,
God
yeah.
hath called us to. Yeah. So I think, isn't that also because the unbelieving spouse is leaving, not the believing spouse? But if the unbelieving spouse leaves, they're no longer bound to each other. So the believing
That's the way I
spouse
see it.
can now get married, can remarry in this case, and
Yeah,
it's
that's the
not
way.
because, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so that's the way I see it. If I'm a believing
mm-hmm,
person, I'm a believer. My wife is not a believer.
mm-hmm,
I can initiate the divorce if it's adultery,
right,
and if I initiate, well, I can get remarried if I initiate the divorce based on adultery.
mm-hmm,
I can't get married if I initiate. Wait, hold on, let me say that. Okay, so I can get if I can get remarried if um, I divorce my wife and she passes away,
mm-hmm,
or if my reason for the divorce was specifically if she's still living and the reason for my divorce was adultery.
right,
So yeah, so if I'm married to a woman that's not a believer, I can get remarried if the reason I divorced her was for adultery. If there's any reason outside of adultery, I have to wait for my wife to pass away.
right,
Um, if in the other case, other reason we would get a divorce if she leaves me.
right,
She decides to leave me.
right, because she's the unbelieving one.
Yeah, yeah. She decides to leave me.
Yeah,
If she presses say I
right,
want to get a divorce, you say no, and then she said yes, I want to get a divorce. Like okay, that kind of thing.
yeah,
That'd be the only grounds for me to get remarried. If she leaves me, or if she
mm-hmm,
passes away, or if I divorced her based off adultery.
right,
But
yeah,
any other reason, I cannot get remarried.
right,
So
mm-hmm,
that's the way I look at it.
yeah,
I don't see any
yeah,
way outside of that. Now I know that's not probably popular opinion because you have so many people who get into marriages that they shouldn't have got into, not making
mm-hmm,
wise decisions on who they marry. But it's still God still recognizes that as a marriage. I don't see where
yeah,
he says, "Well, you're not married because you didn't get married under biblical grounds," which is kind of interesting though, because if
mm-hmm,
I'm taking what I'm understanding correctly, it doesn't matter if um, I think it may be different if you have two unbelieving people get married and you get a divorce, and then after that
mm-hmm,
is voided. I guess you would say the penalties of it. I mean, the restrictions on it. Put it like the restrictions. I think the
mm-hmm.
restrictions apply is when you're a believer and you're married. That's my thoughts on it.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm thinking.
Hmm.
I don't because yeah, that's the way I'm kind of thinking about that. I don't. I guess I have to look further on whether it applies if you have two people who are unbelievers and they got married, got a divorce, whatever. Not they just got divorced because they grew apart. A lot of people say,
Yeah,
and then you
mm-hmm,
become a
yeah,
believer. This guy want to hold it over you because when you wasn't a believer, this is what I
right,
don't believe that's taught in the Bible from what I'm reading. So
yeah, yeah,
but for
yeah.
her
That's
though, oh go ahead.
no, no. I was just gonna say that's a good point right there.
Yeah, so I don't know about like now the I guess the caveat, the kind of the shaky thing or kind of uncertainty is whether a person who gets a divorce say they was a believer and then say, well, I really wasn't a believer when I got married the first time I got divorced.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the kind of thing where I don't know. Only that person knows that, and God knows that.
Right.
You know, that's the kind of thing, because
Yeah.
that's the reason that a lot of people may give. Well, I really wasn't a believer. Like, I don't, that's what I don't even tell what you told me. Now, you saying that because I don't know the reason why you're saying that,
Yeah.
or you saying as a believer, you're going to make every decision wise and thinking about God when you make these decisions. That's the other thing about that. So that's the kind of, I guess, it'd be an argument or a discussion about that. So for her, she said she got a divorce. It'd be better for her to say, I wasn't even a believer.
Well, that's not what she's saying,
No,
though.
I know that, but I'm just saying for you that you can't. The only way you can kind of get out of that, but only you know that, right? You're only fooling yourself, right?
Yeah.
Then you're kind of weighing yourself. Well, was I really a believer, or was I really a believer? That's the kind of thing about that. You just chalk it up. You know what? I'm a believer. I didn't make a wise decision.
Mm-hmm.
But so I'm still the restrictions are still applied to me. Or you're gonna say, you know what? Because I did this, I couldn't have been a believer. That's the thing. Like, I don't know that. That's the only that person knows that.
Right.
God knows that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think for the whole, that's the kind of, like, I would say it'd be a discussion back and forth, or argument, talking to a person who's in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
But if you say you're a believer, then, like I said, the only grounds for me to divorce would be, she leaves me.
Mm-hmm. The
While married.
unbelieving stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the unbeliever person leaves me while we're married, or the unbelieving person, I divorce them for grounds outside of adultery, and she passes away,
Mm-hmm.
or I divorce her on grounds for adultery, then I can get remarried. So
Yeah.
there's only 3 instances I can get remarried as a
Mm-hmm.
believer.
Right.
Because, like I said, when I read that 1 Corinthians chapter 7 verses 10 to 12, was it 10 to 12 or 10? I'm taking a 10 to 19 or 18. When it goes to verse 12, I'm understanding from the concept that he's speaking to people in the Corinthian church, where these people came to new in Christ, but their spouse is not like that right now.
Mm-hmm.
And so their spouse hasn't converted. So that's what he's speaking to these group of people specifically about. Your unbelieving husband, unbelieving wife are pleased to stay with you. Then you need to stay with them. And then
Yeah.
if they decide to leave on your own, that's when you're not bound to stay with them.
Mm-hmm.
So, but interesting. Yeah, he said,
Yeah.
that's not even talking about.
Wait, say that again. You went out. Well, okay. I don't know. Seem to be having a little bit of issue with audio, but okay, you're back. Nope, can't hear you.
No, I said, what's your thoughts?
Oh, well, I mean, I agree with what you just said, because it's funny. Like I said, Latanya did a live stream last night, and she presented Pastor Joe and Chad's teaching on marriage, divorce, and remarriage, but biblically. And oh my gosh, I've never heard anyone, and I've heard that teaching like 4 years ago. I actually heard it, and I never heard anyone teach on that topic of getting married, getting a divorce, but biblically remarrying. And Pastor Joe was just spot on, and so was Chad. But I mean, Pastor Joe was doing more of the teaching. But I agree. I mean, this is what the Word of God says, right? What you just mentioned here in First Corinthians. But again, with this lady, Letitia is her name. It's just everything that she was saying. It's everything she's saying is going against what God's word says. You decided to marry this person, uh, and for whatever reason, you're saying that this person is not who God wanted you to be with. Okay, so In the first place, why did you marry him? And then secondly, once again, I think we all have to be, or we have to be careful when we say things like, God told me, God told me, God told me. Because again, if you're saying God is telling you to get a divorce because you're unhappy, then you're saying God is going against what his word says. And so, no, God did not tell you to do that. Even if
Yeah,
you,
that's not true.
yeah, even if you feel like you've been blessed, you're being blessed by God and all these things. Well, hey, if you were in a marriage where you weren't unhappy, where you weren't happy, and you didn't feel like yourself, of course, once you leave that marriage, you're going to feel totally different. You don't have to be a believer for that to happen to you. You can be two unbelievers and you enter a marriage and one of the spouse is feels like this woman did, and then when they get a divorce, that particular person feels like themselves again. So it doesn't have anything to do with because this is not who quote unquote God had for you. I mean, yeah, it can be, but at the same time, you willfully went into this marriage. And again, she didn't really share why she was feeling the way that she felt. um, I don't know what her former spouse did or didn't do. And again, not saying to stay in a situation where your life is in danger. We're just talking about how what are the biblical, if you want to say, qualifications to remarry after divorce. That's what the whole topic was about. Not to, if someone's abusing you, that you're supposed to stay there. No, I'm not saying that. Just saying, even if you do divorce a person, in God's eyes and from his word, if it's not because of sexual immorality, you cannot remarry unless there was adultery, or if your spouse passes, or if your spouse happened to be an unbeliever and they wanted to leave, then you can remarry. Yeah.
Yeah, I think she, I don't, I mean, she can get married, she can get divorced because she wasn't happy. I wouldn't push back against that. I guess, like you said, the point is, can you get remarried?
Mm-hmm.
So the only way you can get remarried as a believer is only because your unbelieving spouse is unhappy. You can't get. That's the way I'm looking at it. I can't get remarried. I can't get remarried. I can't divorce because I'm unhappy, and then I'm gonna get. I mean, I can't. I can divorce. I can't say. I can't get remarried because I got divorced because I'm unhappy. I can't get remarried if my spouse is unhappy, and they leave me.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Now I can share my experience. I wasn't pleased, but I can say, well, that's not. I'm not the one who initiated a divorce. You know, my spouse. She wanted to get divorced.
Right.
You know, so I just let her be, and that's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, like you said, let you get more context. I don't know the reason. Did he end up cheating on her? You know, I don't know anything about that. My adultery. Did he end
Mm-hmm.
up doing that? Did he actually decide, like, I want to leave you? Did he initiate it? You know, the divorce, things like that. So that's what I'm saying about that. So I don't know. She really. I think that's the thing when they start sharing these discussions on divorce and remarriage. If they're speaking about themselves,
Yeah,
they have
she's
to
speaking
kind of
about
give the.
herself. Sure.
Well, no, I'm just saying, if a person want
Oh.
to speak about themselves when discussing divorce and remarriage, about their own
Mm-hmm.
personal experience, they got to share details because they get more clarity of whether they get more clarity on why they got a divorce, and then you can kind of provide a better response to whether it's biblical or not. You know, because if you just talk on like her kind of generalities, I wasn't happy and stuff like that, and that's all I can go with. You
Mm-hmm.
know, then I'm just trying to just go with what she shared with the audience. But
Yeah, because
both could be true. She could be unhappy, wasn't pleased in the marriage, felt she was getting depressed, but
oh, can't hear you again. Can't hear you. Okay, well, hopefully he's gonna work out. the audio again. Okay, I'm going to put up Latanya's comment. Or if while you're separated and the wife or husband is with another person, like marries another person, then both were, but Pastor Joe was. Oh, okay, sorry. Okay, what do scriptures say? One, I'm sorry, Latanya, I'm trying to read your. I think maybe Save Christ. I guess issues with his phone. What does scripture say? One can't get around what Jesus said and Pastor Joe said, taking the whole counsel of scriptures, not cherry picking. This should be a warning to single, married, and divorced people. Yeah. I guess, like I said, my whole issue with that particular video is because she was in a particular marriage that she felt that God did not choose that spouse for her. And she did not mention anything about sexual immorality, because she has another video where she's sharing a testimony. Oh, great, he's back. Where she's sharing a testimony where she was engaged to a man, but then that whole engagement, and she mentioned it too, that whole engagement, they both were supposed to be saved, but yet they're sleeping together. Anyway, she ended up not marrying him because she found out that he was cheating on her. But she wasn't married to him. She was engaged to him. But I guess her husband, who she was previously married to, in this video, she never mentioned if it was in regards to that. She's just saying how she was unhappy. She didn't feel like herself. She didn't know who she was. And because she would always hear, like she said, the church is never going to tell you this to stay no matter what, and so on. Yeah, you might have some pastors, unfortunately, who will tell you to stay. But then you'll have other pastors like Pastor Joe who will tell you, listen, if this is a dangerous situation, yeah, separate. But if somehow there can be reconciliation, then okay. But if not, yes, separate. But if you happen to divorce your spouse, you are to remain single. Again, so again, my whole issue with her video was this constant, oh, I gotta divorce and leave this person because God didn't join us together, and God was like pleased with her when she did that, and I'm like, no, again. Anyway, yeah, so that was just my thoughts on this video. I'm done. Anything else to say, Slave of Christ? Because you kind of fell out again.
Oh, no, that was it. I just said what I said about the. I don't like. Yeah.
Yeah, that was really good though, and
Yeah.
of course you gave scripture to back it up.
Yeah. I guess for everybody, really don't. Yeah, it's got to be wise who you marry.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a believer.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't. Yeah. It's crazy. I usually hear the women's point of view, though. It's like the men don't get in these. I'm not saying they don't get in these situations, but you normally hear it from the women's side.
Yeah.
I don't really. I mean, as sure as men that got married to women who they. Well, as far as believing Christian men who may have married a woman who wasn't a believer, but I guess you normally only hear women's side of it.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. I don't ever recall ever hearing a man. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, talking about they, yeah, but I'd be kind of curious though. She has a YouTube channel.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And her channel was called Wisdom Speaks Life or something like that. I'm like,
yeah, you should. I think you should. You should just comment on her comment and post the video like we had a discussion. Would you like to talk further on it?
You're always telling me to do.
Come up. Yeah. So
Mm-hmm. Oh,
all right. Yeah, that's all I have.
okay, well, that's great. Oh, wait. Latanya says, never do you see Jesus or scripture saying because of not being happy or this or that to divorce. But if you do and it's not biblical reasons, you have to stay unmarried. Hard pill for some. Uh, yeah, hard
Something to
pill.
swallow. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. It kind of reminds me of uh, my pastor, Pastor Simbla. His mom, when she was, I mean, well, she passed away, but many, many years ago when she was a young bride, Pastor Simba's father, he was an alcoholic. And he used to, I believe, if I remember correctly, he used to hit his mom for many years. And she decided that she would stay. Even in the midst of all of that, she decided that she would stay. And you know what? At some point, God saved his father. And she remained married to him until he passed away. And again, was she happy in this marriage? I don't think so. Not in the beginning, maybe not. And did she deserve what was happening to her? No. But she stayed. She honored the covenant that she made before God with her husband. And like I said, God saved him. And that's just one testimony that I know of what the Lord did in the midst of an unhappy marriage, if you want to say, for lack of a better way of saying it. But she remained, and God blessed them. So it can happen. Wisdom speaks. Take with caution. LOL. Yeah, exactly. But okay, but thank you so much, Slave of Christ. I wanted to get your thoughts on this, and thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and the wisdom of the scriptures. So wisdom was truly speaking from you. So that's all I have for that's all we have for today. As I always like to ask you, any final words? Oh,
Nope.
yes. No. Oh gosh. Yes, I forgot. I was supposed to say this in the beginning, and I said it the other day. I put in the description box below, at the Heart of the Conversation merch store. And guess what is in the merch store? The Slave of Christ t-shirt. I wish I actually had the a mock-up to show you. Maybe next time, hopefully I can. So the link is in the description box below, and also the link to my children's book that I wrote that's called Missing My Socks. And once again, Missing My Socks is about my cat socks, who I had for 16 years. I love so much. And just sharing a little bit of my story about her and her passing away, hence why I am missing my socks. But so at the Heart of the Conversation merch store, with that fantabulous Slave of Christ design is in the merch store, and also Missing My Socks, the link below. It's on Amazon. So thank you all so much for joining us. It would be kind of nice. You could close this house, Slave of Christ, instead of me. Instead of me, how about you say whatever you want to say at the end? All right.
I don't know. Everybody have a good night.
There you go.
Everybody have a good night. I mean, we already went over. Ain't nothing else to say.
No, but that's what I mean.
Check out the shop. I mean, check out the I guess the merchandise. Check out the book. And I guess in the future, anybody want to come up, we just provide the link.
Yes.
Come up as you want. Really, I don't think I have to be scheduled to come up. I think if we come up, we have more personalities, and on the panel, they kind of
Mhm.
have different thoughts on different views on it.
Mhm.
I guess nothing wrong with us two speaking, but they could still be, I guess, good for have other people come up uh, to give their point of view on what we're discussing, what we're talking about.
I totally agree.
Yes, that's my thought. So I guess
Awesome.
come up for next week, Tuesday. Uh, yeah, so it was a good one. Marriage, divorce. I just think a lot of people. Yeah, like what was that? Latanya said
Latanya
about
said, yeah.
the hard pill to swallow.
Oh, yes. About,
Yeah, people. Yeah, that's the kind of thing. I don't. What is that? I don't know what it's saying.
it says, never do you see Jesus or scripture saying because of not being happy or this or that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing about it. A lot of people
That's right.
get married and they I don't know, that's crazy. I don't yeah. I think people don't kind of it's not the divorce part. I think that's two different topics. I mean
Mm-hmm.
two different discussions. Anybody cuz you can get divorced for any reason if you want to. I can't tell someone why they shouldn't get a divorce, but I guess we can share with them biblically what are the grounds for you to get remarried.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's something you have to kind of consider. If
Mhm.
you okay with I'm gonna get divorced and I can't get remarried, then do what's best for you.
Mhm.
But I think you should fully understand the results of you getting divorced on unbiblical grounds that doesn't allow you to get remarried. I don't think a lot of people think about it like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
You're right.
but I guess to avoid all that, really, I mean, everything's not foolproof. Is that you get married to someone equally yoked in the first place?
Right.
So, yeah, but that's all I have to say. Well,
Okay.
everybody have a
Awesome.
good night. Go to sleep. I guess I got fireworks coming on. For 4th of July. Everybody be safe. Don't blow your hand off. don't blow your hand off.
Yeah.
My
Exactly.
supervisor said I didn't even know he sold it. He said he got a 3-foot lighter, like it extends 3 feet. So when you light it,
What? Oh my gosh.
yeah, it keeps so you don't have to be right up to the fuse, the wick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
Is that legal?
listen. No, yeah, I think yeah, but I was like, yeah, don't blow your hand off. I was thinking about something. What's that? You heard about that birthright citizenship? This is like off topic. The birthright citizenship thing that was discussed.
With President Trump?
Yeah.
I think I heard a little bit of it.
Yeah, it was from what I heard. Okay, from what I heard, and maybe I may not be true, but from what I heard is that he was trying to have them remove that because it's no longer in effect. It's no longer needed, and the reason he was that
No, I was gonna say, what do you mean remove it?
because when I was looking at the background, right, it got kind of interested in why it was started. So it was the 14th Amendment. So what happened was that when the Africans were brought over here to the United States because of slavery, the people that enslaved them, they felt these blacks didn't have the same rights as they did, you know. So what happens when the blacks were free, it was still laws saying they can't do certain things because they was considered like a lower class people. So that's why the 14th Amendment was created to show that no, these people, blacks who are free, still have the same rights as anybody else. So that's why it was initially created, like the civil rights and then the 14th Amendment. What happened was is that it says that any U.S. born was it something as a U.S. citizen born. I forgot what the phrasing was. What was it? It was any born. Hold on, let me get this. I'm holding up the wait. It's longer than as long as pot thing long. Hold on. It's supposed to be done in an hour. I'm already talking about. Hold on. I had to find it. It was talking about What is going on?
Yeah.
I can't even. Hold on. Can you still hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
It was what happened was, let me see, what was it? Because I was looking it up. I was like, wait a minute, I was trying to figure out the reason. What was the big deal about that was going on with it? Hold on. Like the history. That's what I was kind of looking at. Let me see. Oh, here we go. I think this is it. I can't find it now. Never mind.
Well, okay. Well,
Anyway,
maybe.
that's what was going on. So what happened was that it was Chinese that came over here during the gold rush,
Mm-hmm.
and they came over here voluntarily to do labor, make money, and stuff like that. So what happened was this couple that was here, they had a son that was born in the United States, and so this couple they went back to China. So the son, when he got older, he decided to go back to China to visit his parents or whatever the case may be. But when he got back, they wouldn't let him back in because they said he wasn't a citizen. And so what he did, he had some lawyers, and they used that statement in there that U.S. citizens, whatever, if you're born, you'll be naturalized as a U.S. citizen. He used that to set the claim that he was a U.S. citizen. But that 14th Amendment was only specifically we're talking about blacks and the slave. It wasn't speaking about every other ethnicity.
Oh.
So we use it as a self. I'm not saying that he should. I'm not saying he shouldn't have been, but I'm just saying based on the laws back then, the way I looked at it, he used it as a self-serving reason for himself. I can't say that he didn't know that the law meant only towards blacks, but the lawyers obviously did, right? They knew the context of it, but because the phrase was so general, that's how he won the case, and that's what started the birthright citizenship. That if you have a person, if you come over here and you have a child, that child's automatically a citizen.
Mm-hmm.
That's what started the whole thing.
Oh.
And so that's why Trump, from what I heard, was trying to get rid of it because it's not applicable no more. Because they were saying, well, people are saying it's not right. People come over here and give birth. Because I heard from nurses that some people be doing it. Like Africans come over here and give birth,
Mm-hmm.
and then all of a sudden their child's a citizen.
Right, to give them access into staying in.
Yeah, that's what happens. And people come over here like on vacation, they give birth. Now their child's a citizen.
Yeah.
So people are taking advantage of the law, using it self-serving when the original context and foundation of the law had nothing to do with that. It had to do specifically with blacks who were treated as not citizens when they was brought over here, during that time of slavery and Jim Crow and all that. I mean, racism. So
Okay.
yeah, it's like if you say, like, for example, if what's the analogy I was looking at? Like on a bus, these seats are for priority seating for people in need.
Yeah.
And they talk about handicap, people with disabilities and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You get on the bus, well, it says for need. I'm in need. I'm real tired. I had a tired day work, so I need it so I can sit in front.
Right. Yeah. I
But it
get it.
doesn't say specifically handicap. It doesn't say that, but that's what the rule was intentionally written for, the
Right.
law. But I'm using it now for my self-serving reason because I feel like, well, I'm real tired now, so I need it.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I might know it was originally intended for people who were handicapped, disabilities, and stuff like that, or elderly.
Right.
So that's what was going on. That's how it happened.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a good good
Yeah, I was
analogy.
like, what? I was trying to. I kept asking questions like, how did this happen like this? What was going on? So that's what happened.
Okay.
So a Chinese guy, he's for some reason, I'm a citizen because it says in the law that I was born here, so I'm a citizen.
Mm-hmm.
No, that wasn't the reason. That wasn't the foundation or reason for that amendment. It had nothing to do with anybody. It had to do with blacks. No,
Right.
eventually probably would have had something where they changed, like just because but that's what the reason was for.
Okay. Wow. Look how you can find a loophole in just about anything,
Yeah,
right?
that's kind of crazy. That's what started the whole thing. So that's why it's pushing back now. Yeah, people getting all these benefits and stuff because their child are citizens, and they talk about how
Mm-hmm.
the schools are too many students.
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So yeah. But,
Yeah, you said that. It reminds me of a lady. Well, I was looking at another video yesterday of the gentleman you sent me, Isaiah, whatever his name is. He was in
yeah.
Mexico City, and this lady moved to Mexico, and at the time she was like 7 months pregnant, but she wanted her son to have like dual citizenship. I mean, even though
Mm.
she's moving there, but she was like, if she gave birth there, it would give her son. I guess I don't know if it's her too, but definitely her son. He would have dual citizenship. So when you said that, it
Yeah,
just
and people like, well, how can? Yeah, people are like, well, what's the reason? How you can't get used to like? Yeah, you can just go through the formal process.
hmm
Not that you are not saying not you automatically got citizenship because your child was born here. You
right,
know,
right.
but yeah, that's what was going on. So
Oh,
because I
okay.
can't, I can't do that, right? So like you can't have a child in China all become a Chinese citizen, can you? I wonder what countries could allow that to happen, or
Yeah.
it's just I don't think it's just the U.S. though.
Well, see, Mexico City, the lady, she had her son there, and he has dual citizenship. He has American citizenship and Mexican, even though he's not Mexican. But yeah, I don't know how
Well,
that
that's
goes.
different though. But they were citizens of Mexico, though, right?
No, she's American. She's an American that wanted to move to Mexico City. She lives there now, but she was 7 months pregnant, and her doctor was telling her, maybe you should go back to the States because it looked like she might have been having complications. But she was like, she really wanted to have her son there for dual
Yeah.
citizenship. And she ended up having him there. But she planned on moving and living there anyway, and she does. So yeah, but that's what she did.
Yeah, and they're not talking about. I think it's different if you have one parent who's a citizen. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Then that's different. Let me see. Oh, here it goes. There are countries where a child is generally a citizen just because they are born there, regardless of the parent's citizenship or immigration status. This is called unrestricted birthright citizenship, or just soli. There's 33 countries, including the U.S., where if your child is born there,
hmm
it's the United States, Canada, Mexico, Belize, Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua, Panama, El Salvador,
Oh, that's my
Antigua,
mother's country.
Barbados, Cuba, Dominica, Grenada, Jamaica, St. Kitts, St. Lucia, St. Vincent, Trinidad, Tobago, Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil, Ecuador, Guyana, Peru, Uruguay, Venezuela, Benin, Chad, Lesotho, Mozambique, and Pakistan and Tuvalu. Huh, that's interesting. So this
So if
country you
you're,
can.
so if
Oh,
you're, I'm sorry. So if all those countries, if you if you're there and you give birth, your child will have dual citizenship from that country,
yeah,
and then oh, okay.
you don't have
Well,
to be
see,
a
I told
citizen.
you Mexico. I told you the lady moved to Mexico
Yeah,
City.
there's a lot of countries where you can just get. So in South America, you could. But the thing, what the thing about it though is that what is the benefit of being a citizen in these countries like compared to the U.S. Because that's really the main thing.
Mm-hmm.
The U.S. is the place where people recognize, you being a U.S. citizen, you have a lot of more freedom and movement than other countries.
Right.
Because other countries, it's difficult to get visas to come to the United States. But if you're in the United States, you can get stuff quick and go anywhere.
Right.
Yeah, so that's what I see what's going. Yeah, okay, all right then.
Oh, wait, Latanya, she put a comment. She said she had to go back and listen to what you said about the birthright thing. She said, so President Trump was trying to, what is that? Trying to say this was for the black slaves, not for anyone who want to. Okay, I guess I'm waiting for the rest of her comment.
President Trump was trying to G to say.
I don't know. Maybe there's a missing some letters. So President Trump was trying to.
Oh, that's what I was thinking. That's what they said. So I think that's what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think
So
he said it out. I don't know if he said it out of his mouth, but that's what I heard from who was listening to what was going on while I got shot down. But that's what he was trying to get done. But
Oh,
people were saying like, "Oh no, he's trying to get rid of it because that means you have to deport people."
yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't think that was. I don't know if he was trying to go for the people currently now. It's like going forward. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Yeah.
think I wouldn't believe that. I mean, I don't know, but that'd be hard to do that. Like I think if everybody got I don't know, not grandfathered in, but anybody who's after this is passed and took into effect, we're not going to allow this anymore. I think that's what it was.
Okay. So
That's
that's
what I
why.
would think. That's why I think that they would do it. If I'm thinking about it, like, I can't go back and try to get everybody. I might have to say, okay, this is what's going on. After we pass this law going forward, this is what what the law is going to be.
Okay, so that no one can come over here and give birth, and now their child
I mean, that's
will.
what I'm thinking. If it like, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I don't have to look further into what was actually going on, but I'm just looking more on the facts about the 14th Amendment and stuff. So,
Mhm. Okay, she said use the system by trying to get to the states to deliver on American soil, and then say, "Oh, I delivered in America, so my child is an
yeah,
American."
that's what it is, and that's what was
And she
going
said,
on.
"Yeah, the Supreme Court shot it down." Oh, yeah. See, Latanya's good with all this political stuff.
Yeah, so
She's
they shot it down. So that means that means they want to keep the birthright citizenship, man.
oh, okay.
Is that what it means? I mean, she said
Wait,
really.
no, it's I don't, wait a minute. Okay, let me go back to the top. Okay. She had to go back and listen. Um, what you said about birthright. So President Trump was trying to say this was for the black slaves, not for anyone who want to use the system. I'm sorry. Hold on. Sorry. Who wants to
Yeah.
use the system by trying to get to the states to deliver on American soil and then say, "Oh, I delivered in America, so my child is an American." And then she said, "Well, the Supreme Court shot it down."
Okay. Yeah. So that's so when I was looking at my own background about the 14th Amendment, why it was originally established was for the black slaves because they wasn't considered citizens
Mm-hmm.
because the people over them deemed they weren't citizens, even though they was involuntarily brought over. It wasn't like a voluntary. I'm gonna come over here, and
Right.
so because of that, they restricted the rules on people who involuntarily brought over here, and then they changed it. But then people after that started to use it who voluntarily came over here, whether they knew the laws of the land or not. Because I was looking into it, I think I can't say for sure that that all the Chinese knew that when they came over here they couldn't be citizens
Mm-hmm.
back in that day. But I'm sure a lot of them knew that. I'm talking about. I don't think they was ignorant of that. But what happened is that Wong, I think his name is Wong, he decided to use the 14th Amendment and use his general statement to say that, oh, it's applicable to me, and that's how they want it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it wasn't specified blacks or African descent, stuff like that.
Okay.
Then when it
Mm-hmm.
was written, it wasn't specified, and that's what caused that. That's what caused someone to do like Wong to use it for his advantage to say, oh, since it's not specified, I was born here, so I'm a U.S. citizen. You can't say that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's what's going on. So people because I agree with that. I don't like. Yeah, that's crazy if you think about it. That don't even. That's kind of.
Wait, you agree with what? With what he did?
No, I agree with that. It should have been shot. That it should have been moved forward. Like they can't do that no more. No one can do that.
Oh,
You can't just be born over here and call your child a U.S. citizen because they got born over here. They get birth over here.
yeah. She said, "Bingo, bingo." Say it was
Yeah,
right.
because a lot of people are doing that for whatever reason. That's what I'm saying. It's kind of, and they said
But
the
I
impact
mean,
on taxes. You paying for it and everybody, and you
wouldn't you technically be an American citizen if you're born in America?
was that?
Aren't you an American citizen if you're born here in the States?
Uh, yeah, but it's coming from that your parents are citizens.
But how is that? My mom, my mom wasn't a U.S. citizen when I was born here. She was a legal alien, but my mom didn't become an American citizen until many years after I was born.
Yeah, so you've been it from the birthright citizenship. So I was for they trying like you have your parents had to be U.S. citizens or one of them to be a U.S. citizen for you to be considered a U.S. citizen if you're born here. You can't have like two
But my,
parents. Oh wait,
I'm sorry, no, but my parents were here legally though.
no, I know that. No, I'm saying like you. No, I'm saying like you the birth. If you understand the yeah, I guess you have to look it up. The reason the 14th Amendment. Just look that up, like the background on that.
Okay.
That's what the discussion's about. It's not about.
She said she was upset the Supreme Court
Yeah,
shot it.
that's what it's about because it's not just like it's the you can go through the legal process to become a citizen, but it's about the yeah, it's just the impact. It's not the I think people are talking about the expenses of stuff of providing for people over here because they're bringing there's a whole influx of a whole bunch of people coming over here illegally and having children, and then because of that, it's a responsibility of citizens to, I guess, take care of these people
No, but
because they're not
you just
citizens.
mentioned that they came over illegally. I was saying my parents were here legally when I was born in the States.
Oh yeah. No, I think, but so I don't know. I don't know. If it's talking about your parents to be citizens. Like, does a visa count as you're legally over here because of a visa, like a work visa or a
Hmm.
tourist visa? But if you get pregnant and give birth in the United States, does that automatically mean your child is a U.S. citizen? And I think that's what they were trying to shoot that down. That's the point of it.
But they were more trying to shoot it down from the fact that these parents were not legal, right? They weren't legal immigrants. Or,
But they have to rewrite everything because they're shooting it down because you got to go back to what a amendment they're using the 14th Amendment to justify that. That's what I'm saying.
Mhm.
But if you understand what the 14th Amendment was originally intended for and who the people was for, then they would say, well, you can't apply it to people who that it wasn't intended for, who it wasn't intended for. Even though that's what people. Well, now they're doing that, but that's what they were saying. He just going back to the background of it though. But
Mhm.
anyway, I mean, I'm talking.
Okay. Okay.
I'm done. Ain't nothing
Latanya
to
says
start
we
about.
cannot wait. Latanya says we cannot take care of all these people. They are draining the system. Ah,
Yeah, I think that's a discussion about the stuff. Because my
yeah.
mom, right, she came here.
Hmm.
She got married, but she still became a U.S. citizen. But mine is
Right.
different though. My dad is a U.S. citizen, so I would have
Right.
been a U.S. citizen regardless if she never got citizenship. You know,
Yeah.
so
But like I said, my parents were here legally. I don't know if my father, if he was already an American citizen. I don't know. That I don't know. But I know my mom did not become an American citizen until many, many years. I mean, I was like a teenager or something like that. So, um, but again, they were here legally. My mom had a green card, and I was born here myself and my brother. My
yeah,
my.
you can have a HB2 visa. I think it lasts for 10 years or something like that.
Mhm.
And that doesn't mean you stay here for 10 years. That means you have to leave after a certain time and you can come back.
Well, this was, I don't know how many umpteen years ago, as my mom would say. And so my mom was always here legally. I don't, whatever process she always had to go through, she went through. Um, my dad, yeah, I don't really know too much. Again, I don't know if my dad was already an American citizen um, when I was
Yeah.
born. So I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, I'm just saying
All
my
right, then.
parents were here legally as opposed to just trying to come over here to give birth so that I can be a American citizen. No, my parents didn't do that. But anyway, okay. That was a thank you. That was as they say, you learn something new every day. See, this discussion you should have, and Latanya should pop on, and you all can converse about these things. Because, yeah, me and politics, and I'm brain dead. But okay, thank you so much, and until next time, take care, everybody. Bye.
Welcome to the table. Pull up a seat. Two voices in the spotlight where the heart and the headlines meet. The world's got noise, but we move with grace, led by the spirit, never flesh, never ego in the place. We talk about the nations, the storms and the shine, the things on your screen and the things on your mind. But we check our hearts first, cause the truth don't bend. Let the spirit take the mic, let the wisdom descend. We're just two little